All right, so this next one is a sad one. I don't like talking about this simply because the story of Ezra Miller is not getting any better. It's snowballing out of control. And it's what a unique situation this is for on many different levels, and like 80% of those levels being psychological, mental health issues.
Yeah.
And then those are all piled on top of the fact that there's this movie that we've been waiting years for that is in the can, ready to come out, ready to bring back Michael Keaton, also have Ben Affleck, also have 3 Ezra Millers, and DC is claiming it's going to be one of the best movies they put out, one of the best DC movies that they ever put out. But then, as I said, all that stuff sitting on top of that concept, Ezra Miller is still missing after grooming allegations. Now, to make things clear, the young lady or person, I don't know, the young person that he is considered, grooming is now an adult. So like, there's no kidnapping, nothing going on here, but there are a lot of weird things that happen. So let's dive into a few of these things. All right, as Ezra Miller allegations deepen, court cannot locate or serve the actor. And by serve, they can't serve him court papers because they can't find him.
Yeah.
But the teen's I'm sorry, I must have cut that off sooner than I thought. The teen is the young lady in question here. The teen's parents and law enforcement are having a hard time locating Miller to serve the actor with the order which issues Miller of physically and emotionally abusing and grooming the teen. The accused, the 29-year-old Justice League star of psychologically manipulating, physically intimidating, and endangering the safety and welfare of Takota. Is that it? Takota or Takata?
I think Takata. I don't know.
Takata. Okay. Takata Iron Eyes. According to the court documents obtained Thursday by the Times, the tribal court judge approved the interim order Tuesday, but the court cannot locate or serve Miller, according to a copy of the petition. Okay. So you hear this whole bunch of scary words. Court cannot find, legally manipulating, intimidation, endangering safety, blah, blah, blah. Which is weird. It's a whole different level that it kind of seems to like fall right into the wheelhouse of what Ezra has put on as how they act in general. This kind of like, I control this situation. Do you know who I am? I'm just going to go up to a bar. I don't like the song you're singing. Well, I'm going to take your microphone and start a fight with you. I'm going to walk into your house that you generously let me stay in. I'm going to threaten you and your wife. Yeah. Ezra's out of control, but we've been saying that it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Well, it got worse, but it got worse than we thought it was, because this is allegations that's been going on this has been going on for 4 years previous to this. Like, this has been happening, and like,
I think
that
6 actually.
Oh, I thought she was 14. Maybe was she 12?
I think she was 12. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When they met. Yeah.
Got you. Which brings up a whole different slew of conversation, which we'll get to. So it's more like this is a precursor of it snowballing into a bigger thing, which is these big physical altercations that Ezra is going through now. That's just the way I'm unpacking it, because it's really weird. We're getting this information, but this information has been happening since before all these other allegations came out. With that, Seth, you're Zaslav. You're going through Warner Brothers, just taking things out. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. And here's the budget for all TV series. CW, see ya. Like, he's going through, kicking ass and taking names. What do we do with Ezra in this situation?
I know we've said a few times, and it is true, mental health needs to be taken more seriously.
Yeah.
And this is what seems to be a heavy case of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets to a certain point where you can't just use mental health as an excuse for everything. Like you can't read all this stuff, go, what's wrong with Ezra Miller? And then somebody go, oh, mental health issues. And you go, okay, never mind then. Like you can't do that anymore. And like, yes, they need help, and I hope they get help. But I was Zaslav, whatever. Ezra's got to go.
Yeah,
Ezra's got to go. And obviously,
I agree. Keep the movie as is in the can.
Yes, keep the movie as is. It seems like it's way too late to do that. It seems like it would also be way too expensive to recast Ezra.
Because he plays multiple roles. Yeah,
not just multiple roles, but they had like a test screening a few weeks ago, and people are saying Ezra's in like every scene of the movie, playing multiple characters. It would be way too expensive to recast for this movie.
Right.
So release the movie as is, but either recast the role or find a way to put Barry aside and bring in maybe a different Flash. Maybe bring in Wally somehow, or maybe another Flash, I don't know, but like just get rid of Ezra Miller. Like, I hate to say it too. I've said it before. I like Ezra Miller, or, as an actor.
I like Ezra Miller as the Flash.
I like Ezra Miller as the Flash, and I brought it up a few times, but there's this movie called The Perks of Being a Wallflower. It's like a coming of age drama that Ezra is in.
Yeah.
Really good. Like, the movie's really good, and Ezra Miller is really good in the movie. So it's sad to see where they're ending up right now. I hope they can get the help they need, but like we're talking Flash, DC. Ezra Miller has to go. Like,
yeah, like have Michael Keaton be in charge of all of like the promo for this movie. Like, he's the one that goes out to all the interviews. Everyone else that's involved, Supergirl, and just like whenever Ezra comes up, just be like, hey. He made the movie. We're thankful for that, but no, he's gone. I'm to the point. I think it's definitely time for him to go. But Seth, we don't really know the full scope of this situation.
I was gonna mention that too, because it's kind of iffy, and like, the article you brought up didn't mention it, so I don't know if you saw it, but the girl that he's being accused of kidnapping or whatever, she made a video saying that like, oh, her parents are liars, and like some people are like, oh, okay, so clearly we don't need the full situation. But then it boils down to even more, because like, oh, she could easily just be caught up in everything thinking this is the way to go, and it's still wrong. Or you could even boil it down even more and say maybe Ezra made her make that video somehow. Like, you don't know. I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm just saying we don't know.
Well, this is the power of what they call grooming, Seth. Because grooming somebody is, it's like a mild form of brainwashing.
Yeah.
But you can also use this word for not negative things. Now, this word it's mostly used for negative things. That's typically what it's used for. Hey, grooming, bad. So this person was grooming. But conditioning somebody to, kind of teach somebody to think the way that they think it's kind of human nature. But when you add toxicity to that, then it becomes grooming, or not just toxicity. I mean, it goes way deeper, way grosser stuff. Yeah. I'm not saying for Ezra or this case, because we don't know anything about it, but I'm just saying the word grooming in general. You and me love movies. We love talking about movies. You just got a job at a movie theater because you love movies. I envy you. I want to work with you at the movie theater. But like, some people could say, well, Steve, that's because you spent your entire life grooming Seth into making him think movies are so awesome, just like you. You know what I mean? Like, you could also use that for that same mentality. I know there's no negative connotation what I'm doing. It's a very innocent thing. I like movies. You like movies too. But that's because you've grown up with me, and I've told you your whole life, movies are awesome. Movies are great. They're a great escape. Pay more attention to the story. Pay more attention to, the dialogue instead of the fun actiony stuff. And you're slowly turning into that person, and that's not a negative thing. Now, it sounds what Ezra Miller has done is very icky. It's really gross. But the other side of this that really bums me out and that we're not really talking about, and I haven't really heard anything brought up about it. Where the hell were the parents this whole 6 years?
Thank you. Where have they been?
I mean, listen. I've read the things. I've read the stuff. They let her move in with Ezra when she was 12 years old because she was going to school over there. So she'll stay with Ezra. And it wasn't until things got weird, and then they're like, okay, well, maybe you shouldn't stay with Ezra anymore. And she's like, oh no, I'm actually going to stay here. And they're like, oh, okay. But it's not until this recent stuff comes out, and now they want to start bringing this stuff up when their daughter's of legal age. What the hell happened this past 6 years? There's something that's going to come out. I don't know what it is, but something's going to come out about this, and it's going to get way. I believe it's going to get way ickier, way grosser, and I think it's going to have to do with the parents. And maybe, and I'm just speculating here, not a clue. So don't hold me to this, but I'm just throwing out ideas. But maybe even a deal between Ezra and the parents. This doesn't sound like any sort of sexual thing that has not been any part of any of the allegations. But it seems almost like cult leaderish, and maybe there's a deal hey, Ezra, he's up and coming. Maybe our daughter can go kind of ride his coattails, oh, well, things are getting a little weird, but Ezra paid for her college, so that's all right.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Ezra Miller is paying for her college.
Right.
So,
right. I don't see the parents complaining about that.
There's a lot that we clearly do not know.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why I don't really have much else to say other than what I did say. So that's why I'm kind of quiet over here.
Other than our past 15-minute conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I want to say hope for the best for Ezra, and I do, but I think they need to be fired from the Flash franchise.
I think at this point, I think it should definitely at least be, indefinite termination, which indefinite, maybe let's just hold off for a while until you figure out what the hell you are doing. So I completely agree with that. It's a very mature way to look at that. So yeah, with that being said, man, we have no clue what the hell is happening with this, and it sounds bad. As I said, these words are scary, psychologically manipulating, the court cannot locate or serve Miller. They're not they don't have dogs and people with guns and they're chasing Ezra across the fucking country, or across the turning into
there's not a manhunt here.
Right. Exactly. It's not like that. And it's being played like that. Listen, there's some very serious allegations here, but I think it's more questionable about where these allegations came from, the time that they're being presented, and yeah, there's just a lot more big questions that need to be answered before I think we accuse Ezra of being as icky as he's being made to look out to be. But maybe that's why this is coming out now. Maybe the parents said, dude, do you see all this stuff Ezra's doing? Right now is our time. We can bank in on this somehow. I'm just throwing stuff out there because whatever the parents' involvement is very odd to me. Yeah. It's just the whole thing's very strange. There's no way in the world my parents would have let me, no matter how rich this actor was, would have let me go, spend years with a random actor because they're going to pay for my college or whatever. You're just asking for something bad to happen. So that definitely needs to be addressed, and these parents need to be put under the microscope a little bit more, I think.
When people say Ezra Miller is on the run, I picture a super cinematic thing of hundreds of military soldiers just running with guns, and they plant it up and get down and their scopes, and the helicopter comes flying down and a man in a suit gets out, and some civilians what's happening here, and the guy's see that building over there? Ezra Miller's in there. Like,
yeah. The truth is Ezra Miller is like reenacting that entire last scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League. You gotta break the rule. You gotta do it now.